Hello and welcome to our December 2008 walk today. We're starting here at the Point Vicente Lighthouse, and we'll be traveling through the Interpretive Center grounds and on through to the Oceanfront Estates property, taking a look at the bluff habitat and talking about the birds and wildlife we encounter there. So follow me and we'll continue on. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Nieto, and I'm a naturalist here with the Land Conservancy. We've stopped here to take a look at the Point Vicente Lighthouse. The lighthouse sits approximately 180 feet above sea level. The tower itself is about 67 feet high, and the light can be seen 20 miles out to sea. That's just a little beyond Catalina from here. Catalina from here is about 18 miles away from here to the isthmus. The lighthouse was built in 1926 and was manned by the lighthouse group that preceded the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard took over in 1939 and has manned the area ever since. The grounds of the lighthouse are still used by the Coast Guard as homes for the active duty personnel in the area. The lighthouse itself is automatically operated. The foghorn and the light are basically turned on 24 hours a day with sensors that activate the foghorn. If we listen carefully, we probably hear it in the background now. The point itself, Point Vicente, that we're looking at, was named by George Vancouver on his voyage of discovery on the west coast. He was chartered by the King of England to map the west coast of the United States, and thought very highly of the priest that ran the Ventura mission, and named this point after him, Friar Vicente. We're going to move on from here onto the Point Vicente Interpretive Center grounds and talk a little bit about the activity that's going on there today. Point Vicente Interpretive Center's native plant garden, originally planted with the labor of Point Vicente docents, the Palos Verdes Rotary, and the Native Plant Society chapter here in the South Bay. The plants were donated by the Palos Verdes Land Conservancy, and also plants were purchased by the Rotary of the Palos Verdes Peninsula. We have many island natives as well as peninsula natives here throughout the garden. One of the items that you can volunteer to do here on the peninsula is come out and pull weeds and restore the habitat here. There are monthly work parties sponsored by the Palos Verdes chapter of South Bay chapter of the Native Plant Society. We're going to go on and take a look at the patio area where the American Cetacean Society has their census for the gray whales taking place today. So let's move on. Here behind me we have three of the ladies that are volunteering for the American Cetacean Society's gray whale census and behavioral study project. So far today they've seen one gray whale, but they indicated that there are many fin whale out a little further on the horizon. The gray whale census site here is manned from December 1st through May 15th, from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening. The folks that volunteer here are out here in rain or shine, and really love their work. It's another volunteer opportunity for those folks that love to be outside, and you can take my word for it. I volunteer here as a census taker. There is always some activity out here in the ocean, from dolphin to seals to sea lions, and if there's nothing else to look at, there is always birds flying about. Just a beautiful place. let's go on and take advantage of the clear day and continue down the path. We've stopped here along the fence line, not getting very far from our last stop, to show you the numbers sitting on the fence posts here at the Point Vicente Interpretive Center. The numbers indicate to tourists who are here visiting where the observations are being made. The census takers themselves carry binoculars that have a reticle that indicates the elevation from the horizon, and a compass built into their binoculars that indicates the degrees north of where the sighting is made. This would mean nothing to our tourist friends who visit, so we've had painted on the fence posts numbers from 1 to 40 that would help indicate where the sighting is being made. Let's go on. We've stopped here at what we call our bridge. It's the old drainage that has been covered over with the trail, kindly donated by the Beal family. The trail signage here was put up by the Land Conservancy. Here we are on the Seascape Trail, continuing on through the oceanfront property. This trail here was added during the construction of the oceanfront property and ended here at the property line of the Interpretive Center. Once this bridge was completed and the fence was taken down, it added another mile or so of trail to the walk here, and has been used every day from early morning till late at night by citizens here, and it's well used and well taken advantage of. It's a great benefit to the trail system here. The property line here of the Point Vicente Interpretive Center, you can see the fence. The habitat just on the other side of the fence provides cover for the California gnatcatcher. Many pairs have been spotted in here. The habitat also provides cover for blue grosbeak, as well as cactus wren from up above Upper Point Vicente. Very lush. Scared up a bunch of sparrows here. Very lush habitat, some of the best, given that what was here just a few years ago was nothing but fennel and mustard. The property now shines quite nicely, full, mature habitat. Coastal sage scrub habitat is a little dry now. We're just starting our winter rains, so here in a few months will be full-blown spring, and it won't look quite as gray. But still, we have the coyote bush in bloom, and the Encilia, the California bush sunflower, will appear here, bright and yellow. Just gorgeous. Let's move on and see what else we can find. As we're walking here on the Seascape Trail, the signage that we have in front of us indicates that this is part of the Palos Verdes Loop Trail. A little pin indicates that we are here. This is segment 57 and segment 58 of the Palos Verdes Loop Trail. Each quarter-mile segment is sponsored by individuals or groups. This one section happens to be sponsored by the Los Serranos de Point Vicente docents, and the segment 58 rather, is sponsored by the PV Hills Girl Scouts. And these people that sponsor these sections have a responsibility to keep their respective sections clean and free of trash, which is probably one of the least problems that we have here on the coast. We have in front of us another trail signage moving north. It indicates the Terrace Trail. The terraces here talk to the fact that we have ocean sea terraces that give us an indication that this hill has been rising up out of the ocean seafloor in increments, still rising as a matter of fact, at a rate of about 0.4 millimeters, 0.04 millimeters a year, about the thickness of one page in a novel. We give the kids, school-age children, the idea that in 100 years, this hill rises the thickness of one chapter book, and that impresses them because they know how difficult it is to read a chapter book. Still rising up out of the ocean, and as we look up towards the City Hall site, we see the flat top of the sea terrace. Indicates that we had an ancient beach here. This property here at Oceanfront has been destined to become some type of residential development for years and years. The fact that some of this property has been saved for habitat is a real blessing. There are now 70 acres of coastal sage scrub habitat here on the over 160 acre property that makes up Oceanfront. The Palos Verdes Land Conservancy now manages this habitat for the city, which is included in the NCCP, the Natural Communities Conservation Plan. We have all sorts of sage scrub habitat, from our coastal cactus, the teddy bear cactus, or the cholla, jumping cholla, to giant rye, to of course the bush that gives its name to the habitat, the sagebrush. Again, great bird habitat, a lot of rabbits, and quite a few snakes. We didn't indicate at the trail junction there, but there's signage everywhere on the property, as it is on all of the preserve sites on the Palos Verdes Peninsula, that people are encouraged to be careful of the rattlesnakes. Pacific rattlesnake is a common sight here on the preserves and should be avoided. In the past, as well as continuing now, the movie industry has used the Palos Verdes Peninsula for many of their scenes. We're here at the foot of Hawthorne Boulevard, where in the movie Rebel Without a Cause, James Dean, in that famous scene, raced his friends and enemies down Hawthorne Boulevard and across the open fields, and had one or two of the vehicles race over the cliffs here. During the 70s, the Sheriff's Department for the Los Angeles County put together an effort that cleaned up the coast of all the derelict cars and motorcycles that had been dumped over the side of these cliffs, whether they were shot in the movies or stolen vehicles thrown over the cliffs. Now it's pretty pristine. Every now and again you'll walk along the ocean and find a derelict car part, an engine block rusted, a chassis, something that escaped that original cleanup effort. Here in front of us we have one of the geological oddities here on the peninsula, this rock fall that we see in front of us would indicate that a massive rock slide took place here.